Hey everybody, my name is Samery and I'm a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo. Today I'm going to be going over a video that's been so highly requested, and that is tips for preparing for your black belt test. Now obviously, since I'm a 4th degree black belt, I have been through a lot of black belt tests. I'm going to give you tips that help me prepare for my test, and also tips that I tell my students when they are preparing for their black belt tests. Now before we get started, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, because on this channel I post new videos every Wednesday that cover everything about Taekwondo tips, tutorials, how-tos, and basically anything Taekwondo related to help you become a better martial artist. And if you still want more, make sure that you check out the link in the description below for my online training academy. Now let's go ahead and get started with the video. Okay, so my first tip is make sure that you start preparing way ahead of time. This means anywhere from 6 months to a year before you know that you're gonna black belt test, you should start preparing then. I'm gonna be using my school kind of as an example so that I can kind of talk about how we run our black belt test and things to reference off of. Every single black belt test at each academy is a little bit differently, so just make sure that you pull through with whatever applies to what your black belt test will be like. So at our school, what we usually do is we have a black belt test prep class, and basically everyone who is eligible for black belt testing that year comes in, we have a meeting, and we have a series, we have like a page where everybody has a checklist and they know exactly what they're going to be tested on. They have to do things like be tested on their kicking combinations, punch combinations, forms, self-defense, weapons, sparring, board breaking, so a bunch of different areas that they know they're going to be tested on. And basically they have to show everything they learned from starting from when they were a white belt all the way to black belt, along with everything that they've been preparing for their black belt test as well. So it's kind of a lot if you really think about it, but everything builds off of each other, and as long as you've been practicing and training and paying attention in class, it's not too bad. One thing that I do want to point out, I know at our school we have a 5-page essay that you have to write. Each topic for each dan that you test for is different. I know that the first dan is basically what you've learned in Taekwondo and why you want to be a black belt. So how Taekwondo has changed your life. If you do have an essay as part of your exam, make sure that you don't delay, don't procrastinate, because it seems easy to just put it off and worry about all the physical stuff. But honestly, there's a lot of mental training that you should be preparing for as well. And then that black belt essay, just get it done ahead of time. You'll thank yourself later. Okay, for my next tip is find a buddy to study with, because having a study buddy to review everything for your black belt test is so helpful. Number one, because you learn a lot better when you're actually teaching someone. So if you have to teach your buddy something that they don't know, or if you're just correcting them, then that's great, because you're gonna learn it a lot better yourself through teaching that to somebody else. Also, this gives you a chance for someone to catch mistakes that you might not notice that you're doing as you're practicing. And lastly, it's just so much more fun to study and review and practice when you have someone going alongside of you. So make a friend, someone else that's preparing for black belt testing with you, and just start reviewing. Alright, number 3, make sure that you prepare for things that you might not be expecting. So what this means is, I just want you to get in the mindset of maybe at your black belt testing, you're gonna have to do things that weren't exactly like you weren't told about in detail. Maybe there's gonna be things that your instructor wants to see you try and do, just to see if you can work out of your comfort zone and check your confidence. Maybe there's going to be something unexpected, like you pull a muscle or you twist your ankle, and you're going to have to compensate for that in some way if you want to make it through the black belt testing. So just accept and get that mindset that you might not be at your ideal conditions. You might have to run into some things that you weren't preparing for, but what you need to do is just make sure that you go out there, you show confidence, you try your best, you give 100% effort, because really that's what we want to be looking for. Number 4, make sure that you communicate with your instructors. So what this means is make sure that you ask them in class before, and I say before, not like during the week of belt testing, not during the black belt test. Ask them beforehand what kind of feedback they have for you. Ask them to watch your form, ask them to watch your kicking combination, and just look for feedback or constructive criticism so that you can fix these things ahead of time. Also, make sure that if you need to, sign up for any private lessons that you might need. That way you get one-on-one attention on help help on things that you are struggling with. Remember that your instructors want you to succeed. They don't want you to go out there and fail. That's the last thing that they want. So just remember and keep that in mind, that your instructors want to help you. They want to give you all their very best to help prepare you for this test. So really ask them good questions and use them to help you prepare. Number 5, make sure that you remember to prioritize. Especially the week of your black belt testing, you want to have everything done and set even like a week before, at the very least, before your black belt testing. You don't want to be rushing things last minute, trying to learn and cram different things out. Just make sure that you're prepared, you prioritize your time ahead of time, and then during the week of black belt testing, make sure that you give yourself adequate amounts of rest, that you're eating well, take care of your body and your mind that week, so that you can be at your very best when you go in. And then my last tip, number 6, focus on your mental training. So this is something that a lot of people don't really think about, but whether you need to like visualize, meditate, do whatever you need to do to get your mind confident that you are ready for that black belt test. Because if you show up and you're not feeling like you can really do it, you don't feel ready, it's gonna go, your performance is gonna be a lot lower, rather than if you walk in knowing that you prepared, that you've already visualized what the black belt test will be like, and you feel prepared. So make sure that you work on your mind, because that is gonna be what pushes you and drives you in that black belt test to help you succeed. Alright, I really hope that these tips were helpful to you. I want to wish you the very best of luck in your training for your black belt test. Make sure that you have any specific questions, just leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer all of them. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you can get notifications about every new video that I post. Follow me on Instagram, it is at SameryMorrisTKD, and I will see you guys all next Wednesday for my next video. Bye guys, have an awesome week training.